Hey, Brent with Brent's Runabout. Welcome to this week's installment of our vlog, or my vlog. This week, doing a bit of a completely changed up format. Doing a walking cool down after my run today, and I know I'm coming in a few days late for this week, so just want to get you caught up on what happened last week, and the plans for this week. There'll be no sharing of training plan. I know, bummer, so sorry. But maybe get to that in a follow-up week. Anywho, last week, it was good. Had a run scheduled, and then later in the week had a second run as a question mark, kind of placeholder to see, is this going to make sense? Am I going to feel good? Am I going to feel right as I turn around? Whoa. And go from there. So the first run felt good. I just decided to also change up and go for what I've been aiming for, is at least 20 minutes for my runs. To say I had a plan, it was just kind of seemed like a good number, but also kind of, I guess, roots back to, if you're a deconditioned runner, having those deconditioned runners start with walk runs or run walks and doing it for a total of 20 minutes to start. So 5 minutes of each, alternating until you hit 20 minutes. I tried that, and this is where it kind of comes down to just you and needing to come up with plans and training plans and specific for yourself. And with those things, it felt good. So then I was like, all right, well, let's start doing some very short runs. But then it just didn't feel the same, going out for like a mile or a little over a mile when the run was only going to be like 10 minutes. So then I decided for last week, I'll go out, aim for 20 minutes and, 2 to 3 miles and at least hit 20 minutes, see whatever happens first kind of thing. But, those were kind of the general guidelines. I turn around again. And it was good. Went out for a bit over 2 miles, hit 20 minutes. I kind of noticed some tightness, making sure a car isn't going to come behind me on the alley. And what I've been noticing with the runs in general is like my Achilles is a little, stiff at first and just kind of like a little achy, and eventually it just kind of warms up and then it's fine for the most part. I'm still trying to suss out, am I noticing any like inconsistencies with how I'm favoring legs with regards to my hip, things like that. But in general, just trying to go out, take it easy, try some different routes around the neighborhood, and go from there. So then after that run early in the week, I then had 3-hour days in there of, I forget the exact order, but biking, yoga, and resistance training / physical therapy. I should also notice I've been keeping up with the physical therapy exercises every day, doing at least my core 4 exercises. And then on those days, I then load up with some other strength exercises on the PT side, along with some body weight and using dumbbells for the resistance training stuff, and turn around again. So that was all good. And also felt good to be doing things like yoga again and doing, I think, man, it's been a while since I've done over 20 minutes of yoga, but it felt good to do 35 minutes of yoga. I was like, ooh, this is definitely a bit more of a workout, but in a good way. Like, it felt good to kind of work out those other things. So in general, I'm just trying to keep up the activity level, as I've mentioned in previous videos. Been getting out. I've actually started a new contract job, which I've kind of alluded to. So I've been getting out like now during my lunch hour and doing my workouts, taking care of other things, eating or eating at my desk, and going from there. So then that brings us into, I forget how the end of that week, last week ended, because I don't have it in front of me, sorry. Bringing it into this week, I really didn't have a plan, honestly, until today. So the last 2 days were technically part of this week, and but I knew the first day was going to be a family walk, which we went out and did. We went over to Paris Mountain, did about almost 3 miles on very leisure. No, actually, we ended up carrying our daughter because parenting fail, we forgot shoes. Just the, sorry, turning around again. Typical, I was kind of in charge of getting a lot of the stuff together. My wife was throwing together some food, and then she guessed what was left. I told her, hey, we check our master hiking list, and then, yeah, I forgot to grab them out the door too. She didn't, it was just like we get there, where are her shoes? Uh-oh. So needless to say, we doubled up on the socks for her. She was in the carrier. We did let her down to go climb on some, sticks and have a snack, some different down trees and whatnot. Making sure her feet stayed dried, and my wife would hold onto her feet while she was being carried in the carrier. Anywho, good hike overall as a family. Yesterday, the day after that, I was already planning to go out and do some shorter some waterfall hikes with my daughter, and it decided to snow. So that kind of threw a question of whether or not we we're going to get out, and luckily we were able to. It covered everything over the night. Came up the next morning, my daughter and I were able to go out and play in the snow. And then it was a question of, are we going to be able to go do the original hike we were going to do? And I'd thrown out to my parents, like, hey, if you want to join, I know you're interested in doing some waterfall hikes or hikes in general, more so. And then they had actually presented to me as well. So it was this joint thought of, okay, yeah, let's go out and have a hike together and go from there. So I decided to change it up and present, okay, let's go do 2 waterfalls with, they have a bit short of a hike. It's ones that we've done as a family between my wife and daughter and I, and then go from there with just how we're feeling. Sorry, as I kind of reposition the phone. It was good. It was a lot more just on feet time. We'd maybe cover we'd cover like a mile in about an hour, and we did that at both of the waterfalls. There's a lot of just playing on the rocks. So there's a lot of balancing and, again, just time on legs, which still felt good and surprisingly tiring by the end of the day as we were driving back. And then that brings me into today, which I just went out and did my run. It was a bit over 2 miles, I think 2.3 or something like that, and just over 20 minutes. Felt good. Tomorrow I've got biking planned. Day after that, I'm gonna go out for another run. So now I'm, two runs felt good last week. Now this week I just want to say, okay, let's do the same thing again with regards to runs, see how it feels. And then next week, look, do I throw in turn around again, a third 2 mile run, or start increasing the distances? We'll just kind of see how the end of this week lands, and then go into the next week with coming up with a schedule for that, and then finish off the week with a longer PT/resistance training day, doing mixing up the resistance training exercise, and then doing the series of Achilles and hip and leg and ankle mobilization exercises, along with some strengthening exercises as well. All right, I know that's a much more abbreviated version for this week, but that's about all I have. So hopefully you're enjoying these videos. Again, as always, links below with website if you want to join our awesome weekly newsletter that goes out every Thursday, where I share more fact-based tips, running information, things I'm learning about or continue learning about, or I've learned about previously, getting my certification. And then also a little recommendation of, things I'm listening to podcast-wise, reading, etc. And enjoy. Happy running.